Here we go. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Barbara, for joining me today in this interview. To start off, it would be great if you could introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, who you work for, and kind of what you do.
Great. Thank you for inviting me, Travis. So, hi, I'm Barbara Pinheiro. I'm a marine scientist from Brazil. I have like a bunch of roles, but like my current big role, I guess, is working with ocean acidification, evaluating the impacts of estuary in the acidification process and the effects on the coral reefs here in Brazil. But the one that it's really dear to my heart. It's now how to communicate science to the people, to the society in general, especially because we face so many problems with fake news and people don't believe in science. So for the last 4 years, I've been trying to help and bring more like data based communications and trying to get more specifically in the ocean literacy world.
Mhm.
So and in doing that, I joined as a collaborative researcher in the Maré de Ciências project. It's a tide science project here in São Paulo, also in Brazil, and we do have like two like dear projects, the Blue Schools in Brazil and the Olympics, Oceanic Olympics. It's amazing. So I think that working with like science day by day in a university here in the Federal University in Alagoas, and also working at the collaborating with ocean literacy projects. And by doing that, I get the chance to join a really interesting project that you know, like the specific strategic communication and being part of the JEDI advisor board. It's really a good thing because we do need to improve justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in all the conversation about the ocean and everything, actually. So
Mhm.
those are my three main projects
Love that.
nowadays.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for this very important work that you do. I see it as very valuable within this ocean climate space. And so, as you know, we're filming this interview for those watching because COP29 is currently ongoing in Baku, Azerbaijan. One of the biggest moments throughout every year for for the environment and global climate. And so throughout the years, we've starting to see the ocean gain greater traction within these climate discussions. And due to the nature of our work, we're very much aware that ocean action equals climate action. But we don't know if those messages are, maybe those are messages are getting across. Maybe they're not strong enough, but it is still somewhat of an uphill battle to ensure the ocean is fully representative there at these meetings. And so we know, a way to do this is through strategic communications. And so we understand the importance of that. And so I'd love to just ask you a few questions. If you could explain the value or the importance of good strategic communications in the environmental, ocean, and climate space for us.
Yeah, especially relating to the ocean, it's really necessary because people usually don't go to the ocean. Like they are far from the ocean, even though like it's 71% of our planet, but like really like few people have the opportunity to go, especially underwater. So to bring the strategic communication is to move people about the importance of the ocean, like to really bring the emotion. And I had like this really impacting image. I was doing my research and I went to in a boat with tourists. I get a ride on the boats with the tourists to the reefs here in Brazil, and there was like some foreign hands tourists, and they were amazed because first they didn't know that there were coral reefs in Brazil. They say like, "Oh, I didn't know they're different," and I explained to them that the reefs here are different and so on. But like we were facing the mass bleaching and people were not aware that all that white color that they saw in the water. They were amazed, and I was crying. So, like bringing this importance and showing to people that the ocean is facing a lot of issues related to climate, and we cannot see. So we do need strategic communication to move people and say, "Hey, pay attention. What you are seeing, it's beautiful because everything in the ocean is so cautious, but but sometimes it's really important to bring this in a way that we can move people and to alert people that we do need the ocean, and you cannot see, but like we have lots of effects of climate change in the ocean already. And the most important thing is the ocean is our like greatest ally in this fight. So we do need to have like sustainable ocean, and we need to communicate that strategically. So
Exactly. And so, yeah, I
yeah.
fully agree with you. And it's why, this education, bringing the emotion and the importance, and, we can look at a world map and see that the ocean covers up, 71% of the ocean. And so, for us, it's a very easy connection to make that, we need to protect the ocean, do a better job of managing it if we want to solve this climate crisis. But, are those messages reaching the general public or those that may not know about the ocean? Now, the corals exist within Brazil, right? And so you're right, it is the role of strategic communications, and so for the ocean. And so when it comes to climate, I feel like everyone is aware of climate communications. There's been a lot of research and evidence of what messages resonate with the public when it comes to climate. But do you feel that ocean communication is on par with that, or are there gaps, or yeah, we got some work to do. I can judge by your facial expression.
Yeah, yes, we do have so many things to do. Like uh nowadays, like people already know, for instance, like what IPCC is, but like nobody knows that we do have like this World Ocean Assessment that will bring like executive summary with a lot of things that the ocean can help us and can help the policy making and everything. So we are way far, but I think that Ocean Decade is really a good movement all over the world, and it's trying like with the goals 10 that it's
Hmm.
really bringing all this value to the ocean and to make the ocean more known for everybody. So I think that we are in the path, but there are a lot of things to do it. And by doing that, we also need to think in advance how we're going to communicate it, because there is so many people that doesn't speak English, for instance, that lives from with like the source of their livelihood is the ocean, and people from the global south that they do want to be part of it, like the traditional communities that were like originally the greatest conservationists, and
Hmm.
they are not in the equation to make this good again. So I think we need to come up with strategies
Yeah.
to bring this communication. But I'm happy to see all this movement around the world, especially during the Ocean Decade years.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, you made a good point on English language being a barrier. And so there are these barriers, I guess, that do exist for when we are communicating with folks as NGOs, as governments, as businesses, trying to get our messaging across. And so, one thing, that we've been working on is these Jedi principles of justice, equity, diversity, inclusion. And so how important are these when it comes to strategic communication to ensure that, our messages are reaching the right people, are coming across?
Like we do need the strategics to move people, and people are only like feel emotion when they feel connected. So
Mhm.
I think that the main strategy to include JEDI criterias in any project is because you do need to connect to people, and sometimes the language, if you don't use the right language, if you don't use the right image, if you don't use like a spot on message, the communication will be broken.
Mhm.
So that's so important to bring all these criteria, because We hear a variety of peoples all over the world, and we do have important roles in ocean conservation, and I believe that we if and in any project that's related to communication, like we like money to pay funds to pay lots of the projects. So every time we can see like, okay, so it would be nice to include that, but oh yeah, it's too expensive to translate that. It's too so
Mhm.
we were all the time like being behind on the list of priorities in this kind of things, and this needs to change, not must,
Mhm.
needs to change, and we need to come up with different strategies, because the ones that we have so far only like got like specific public that's not doing anything. We
Mhm.
need to come up with different strategies, and that's it.
Yes.
And this is because we do need to get the society on board to pressure the policymakers. Bottom line is this, because they are the voters, right? They are the one who go and
Hmm.
get the votes, and everything needs to get this importance and feel attached, and the communication with everybody. It's the
Hmm.
main issue.
Lovely. Yeah, I fully agree with you there. And so, I mean, so we talked about emotion, and education. And so, I mean, how important is doing comms research or like this background research, understanding what is resonating with people? Because I think that you and me have mentioned that we can say whatever messages we want to say about ocean and climate action or whatnot, but if we don't know what messages are ringing or resonating with the public, how are we going to know if they're being affected? And so, yeah, what do you see a role for research? How important is research? Has it been underfunded potentially, maybe to date when it comes to comms? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so that's why like I do love the project of the global survey related to, for us to get data in how the people feel, how the message is getting to them. And I believe that all communication, when it's based with data, it's more like trustful worthy. I don't know. I
Hmm.
sometimes my English is but yeah, I think. Ye- the global survey, do like I believe, do I need to explain what is the
The Ocean and
survey?
Society survey for folks is, yeah,
Yeah.
when you say a global survey coming out of a literacy, ocean literacy group in Canada that are really trying to use a survey of countries around the world to gather research and evidence of how people feel about the ocean. What are their emotions when they're there? What messages are bringing through? And so it is this rudimentary, I guess, survey, right? Is my understanding to explore.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, but here in Brazil, we already run one of these surveys, and it
Okay.
was really important for the communication. So, like this global survey that Canada is leading was based in the previous surveys that was run in Canada and Brazil and UK and
Hmm.
England, and all those information was really important for us to move people. If we didn't have the data that here in Brazil, people like they say that 40% think that the ocean is important, but like 6, 7% say that the ocean is important, but they cannot do anything related to the ocean. So those data are really important. And then one thing that come up with showing the results of the Brazil survey for the politicians here was had a really interesting uh, turn this last week, because we could connect with the government, the Ministry of Science and Technology, and they came up with next year the theme of the national affairs from science and technology will
Hmm.
be about ocean and ocean literacy. Here in Brazil, we call ocean culture. No, we don't use literacy, we use ocean culture.
Hmm.
But this is something based in the data that we got from the surveys. And I'm amazed how like the engagement and bringing the data and advocating for the ocean could really move people here. And now we're gonna have like all of Brazil is huge, and we're gonna have it like every single school in the country talking about the ocean. So this is a great. I'm so happy. In everything started with a survey and data and moving people about the ocean.
I mean, I love to hear that because yeah, that's wonderful to hear and great to hear that's going to be in the schools. And yeah, it really I think shows the importance of just a little survey to gauge how people just feel about something or what how does the ocean make them feel when they can they do something about it. And if it seems like some the majority of respondents said they don't know if they can or that they can't. And so how do we change that? And so that's I think really it's interesting to see in the importance of these types of
Yeah, and we
communications.
already started to see that they are not only responding like we did a small survey last year in Brasilia during this National Science Fair for this year that
Mm.
the teams were like biomes, and we were presenting ocean there, and they every time that we asked, so what do you think about the ocean? What you could do to help the ocean? And like 90% was talking about uh like trash or
Yeah.
yeah, the straws and all these kind of things because like it's amazing how communicating like everyone that thinks about the ocean knows now that the straw is not good for the turtles. Like everybody saw the video from the turtle.
Yeah.
They saw like some images got stuck and people knows what to do. But like we were in the capital in Brasilia and people there they do work with it's where our policies are made. So I really loved because we got some answers from the society that was over there in the France saying like no we need to come up with some policies, we need to be more active even though we are far from the ocean. It was really nice to see that the word it's spreading around here in Brazil, and I know that's everywhere. Because when we went to Barcelona, we were talking on the streets to see if people were aware that we were in the conference about ocean
Yeah.
decade. It was really interesting. I think that there is this global effort to make it because we just have like till 2030 to come up with something.
Mhm. Yep. The clock is ticking. I think I would say yes, you're
Yeah.
not wrong. Um, okay, so yeah, I mean, so final question, I think. And so for if you were going to speak to the governments, decision makers that are attending COP29 in Baku, what is your message to them or final key words to them on the importance of ocean communication or why should they care about good communications?
Well, so they do need to care about good communications because it will bring clarity for the society, for the
Mhm.
economists. Will bring like we need clear communications because only with clear communication we can have results, and we do need results like right away. So if the communication is not clear, if don't achieve a lot of people, if it's broken somewhere on the way that you are doing, you we won't have time and to help and to provoke these changes that we need. Like
Mhm.
that's it.
Mhm.
And what we need to do about that, like, is especially related to the JEDI criteria, is I think that be really meaningful, like trying to come up like in advance with strategics that will be more inclusive, that it's justice. Like yesterday I gave the example, hey guys, you are in the COP, and if you think about the ocean, it's blue, not all over the world, not all over the world. So you guys are coming to Brazil next year, and the ocean in the Amazon River is brown, and it's
Mhm.
almost sweet because there is like all this water from the river. So think that we do need to communicate with for everybody
Hmm.
and bring the message that we urge to do something and to conserve the ocean and to show the importance of the ocean for the climate. I think that for the COP, it's the ocean is our biggest ally. We do need the ocean and in the coastal environments, like coral reefs, mangroves. We need to restore them. We need to protect them because
Hmm.
they have the power to protect us. That's it. We are helping us.
Exactly. And so, yeah, and I totally right. So, ocean action is climate action. Comms has a very important role to make sure people understand that and digest that, which will lead to better action. And so, yeah, I think, you to fully agree with you. Bring in the comms. Don't forget about us. Put resources into it. We're not a back burner thing. And then, yeah, hopefully will lead to a better and brighter world for us all.
Yes, yeah, exactly like that. I agree with you
Okay.
100%.
Lovely. Thank you. I mean, so that's all the questions I have for today, Barbara, but thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Travis. Yeah.
Lovely.